who in your mind, who's the starting other guard?
First of all, did you say Oubre Jr.? Come on, bro. It's Oubre Jr. Man, get it together. First of all, you got to get the names right.
Okay.
You get your names right for all these stats
Well,
you do?
first
You
of
can't
all,
get the names right?
You know, Anthony wants the big. Everyone's got the big three. Anthony wants like the big 10.
five would do. Just give me a starting five.
What do you think? Like,
Okay. All right. Stop the shenanigans.
all of a sudden.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Matter of Stats podcast. Guess what? All the fellas are back in the flesh, live video this week. Gentlemen, what's happening?
Happy Trade Machine Tuesday.
Oh, man. Literally, you guys know, like, the two most exciting times of the year for me are free agency and trade deadline.
Trade deadline. Anthony can't wait to see what
man.
gifts he's going to unwrap from Rob Pelinka on Thursday.
Man. I feel like I'm going to unwrap a box of coal tomorrow. He's just going to let me down.
God forbid we go through a season without making a trade.
I know, right? What fun is
Anthony.
that? Jeez.
Man, well,
Anthony's
I'm
playing
excited.
fantasy basketball over here with real NBA players.
You know, my locker room has a revolving door, right?
Now I know.
Obviously, everyone knows me and Billy ain't all about the trade, so it's a fun time for us too. Just in case it don't go down for you, we could still have fun with it. So
Sure, I know you like to wallow in my sorrow. I totally get it.
Yeah,
I totally get it. Before we get started, of course, we'd like to remind everybody to please check out the Matter of Stats podcast anywhere you get your podcasts. Check us out on YouTube, check out our IG, and check us out on X. Right. Well, I think that was an X. I don't know what. Are you having a seizure? I'm not quite sure what's going on right there.
I was watching Family Feud earlier, and they do that.
Or this is PG, or I do the DX one.
So, all right, let's jump right in. So, of course, we'll start with our weekly Lakers recap, the week that was in Laker basketball, and surprisingly turned out to be a decent road trip despite the 1-2 start, the awful start, really. The Lakers finished the Grammy road trip 4-2, which you would actually take on any given road trip. But when it started out with the thrilling win, obviously in Golden State, the double OT, and then back-to-back absolute blowout losses to a bad Rockets team and a bad Hawks team, you would have thought this is going to be a disastrous road trip. But the Lakers shocked everybody, given the win in Boston without LeBron and without AD, and then piggyback that with a nice win against the Knicks, who had been riding a 9-game winning streak, and then made it a little closer than it needed to be, but were able to hold on and beat a bad Hornets team despite a fourth quarter barrage from Bridges and Anthony Miller. But 4-2, I think that's definitely a successful road trip that you take on any.
Isn't it Brandon Miller?
That's what I was
Oh my
thinking
gosh!
in my head too.
What did I say? What did I
said
say?
Anthony Miller.
Oh yeah, Anthony Pig Miller, former Laker. Shout out. Hope he's still alive. Yes.
Jesus.
Brandon Miller. Yes, the rookie phenom that LeBron was praising last night, watching him drain threes. But nonetheless, they were able to hold on and get the win. So, stop me though if you have heard this before. Lakers are 27-25, ninth in the Western Conference, and here we are, just a few days before the trade deadline. Once again, amidst all the rumors of who's going to come, who's going to go, struggling to stay above 500. It definitely sounds like a rinse and repeat of the last. Definitely sounds like a rinse and repeat of the last couple seasons, right? This same place and time, right?
This is our MO, man. This is our formula. This is how we do it.
It does sort of feel like our calling card, right? We're just going to be scraping above 500, get to the trade deadline, have a bunch of rumors. Rob's going to make some miraculous deal, and boom, there we are back in the conference finals, right? I mean, that would be fantastic, but a lot harder. Well, a lot harder for Lightning to strike twice, right, gentlemen?
Agreed.
Yeah, the inconsistencies, as Billy and I have been, and you too, Anthony, have been talking about for this whole season, continue. Obviously, you pretty much said it all. It's amazing to think that we could have maybe even gone 6-0 on this road trip had we just had all our ducks in a row, But such is life, and we dropped those 2 games back to back. But what can you do? You take it as a win. Again, last week's episode was Lakers start road trip 1-2, and probably this one will be trade deadline is here, but we finished 4-2. So it was a good finish. It was a good finish, at least. I think we did see some encouraging things. I think we all chalked up the Boston game as a loss before the game even started, because obviously
I literally said that last week, that likely to lose 3 in a row at Boston.
Yeah.
I think your words were more like, well, we're just punting the season away now at this point. So I think you had thrown in the towel. Yeah, I think you were like throwing in the towel at that point. But, we get the win, a big win in Boston for sure. Obviously snapped the Knicks 9-game winning streak, so that was encouraging as well. And I think to see the way that the guys played, especially like Austin Reeves, during that Boston game, that's good stuff to see, and D'Lo had some nice stretches. D'Lo's been playing well. So, going into this deadline, it's definitely going to be interesting for sure. 2 days left here. We're recording this on Tuesday night, just so we can, validate our potential trade predictions later and all that good stuff. But yeah, so it's going to be wild.
I think Anthony was jumping for joy when Rui played more minutes than Prince the other night.
I thought it was a misprint. I thought I read the box score incorrectly. I'm like, wait a second. I didn't think that was allowed. Yeah, it was interesting that Prince actually did not play over 25, 30 minutes in last night's win. I think one thing that's encouraging, obviously the Vando injury is very significant, because you talked about D'Lo and how well he's been playing. Outside of D'Lo, I don't know if there's been a guy, at least a rotational guy, playing better than Vando the last week and a half.
Yeah, for sure.
Even in that Boston game, remember before he got hurt, right? Because he left the game basically the second quarter or something. Yeah. He had something like 14 points, 9 rebounds, 4 steals. Like, he was all over the place.
He's been super aggressive from an offensive standpoint, which is what we wanted to see. And maybe you heard a lot of that chatter where a lot of people were just like, look, like he's great on defense, but he's killing us on the offense. He's going games where he's only scoring 2 points or 4 points or no points, So definitely positive to see. And you could kind of see like a fire lit under him, especially, the chippiness with Houston and with Dylan Brooks and all that stuff. So that's the kind of stuff you want to see from your guys. So
it's unfortunate he got hurt too, because it seemed like they were starting to get a nice rotation together, get guys like Kobe said, a little chippy and showing a little more heart and energy and passion, and they started to seem to play for each other more, and they started getting something going, given they played the last couple of games they played against sub-mediocre teams, but they still, the way they were playing, moving the ball and stuff like that, they looked good, and it was nice to see. And the injury kind of, hopefully it doesn't put a damper on things. I know guys kind of, they feel bad for him, they're praying for him and stuff that he gets back soon, but hopefully we can still keep kind of the same energy going moving forward.
We did get the report yesterday that hopefully he's only going to miss 3 or 4 weeks. That would obviously be very optimistic, because initial thoughts were that he could miss the whole season. And you touched on, Billy, like obviously what we're going to lose from him. But I think the other thing is, it felt like we were finally there, where maybe we might finally see that starting lineup, right? and everybody would be in their, quote unquote rightful place, bringing, Prince off the bench, Rui off the bench, Wood off the bench, right? Finally, kind of what we really anticipated this team and rotation would look like. And then, of course, that happens.
Yeah, go figure.
And Christie has stepped up the last couple of games in his absence. So that's been good to see. He, by default, now almost becomes the Lakers' best perimeter defender.
Yeah.
I mean, you could take that two ways, as really great kudos to the 20-year-old, or how bad is this Laker team for perimeter's defense when the 20-year-old is the best defender we've got?
Yeah, no, he's definitely got pop in his step, though. I mean, you see him out there, blocking step back shots and just really moving his
length.
feet.
His length is key.
Yeah. So, what are you gonna say, Billy?
They probably tell him, like, look, we don't really need you to score much. We need you to take over a defensive role and embrace this, and this is what we need you to do. And then these guys can score and stuff like that when you get your shot taken or whatnot. But this is what we want you to do primarily. And if he's going to embrace that role, then we're in good shape. And I think, if we kind of shorten the rotations a little bit too, and stop messing around and throwing all these guys in game by game, you get more cohesiveness that way. Instead of playing, 10, 11 guys a game, you can short it down to like 8, 9 maybe max if you need to throw in an extra guy for some odd reason. But I think shortening your rotation would have helped a lot too.
Well, I think when everybody has defined roles, it benefits everyone, right? And that's been the criticism over the last few months, right? Of players, a little frustrated with their role or their rotations, when they're going to play, if they're going to play, how much they're going to play. So I think when you define those, it makes a difference. And Christie, kind of like you said, Kobe, he's got the pep in his step, but he's also got that ready mentality. Because that game Saturday night against the Knicks, he played the entire fourth quarter. He only scored like 6 points in the game, but he had the best plus minus out of anybody on the team that night. And he was out there, like you said, Billy, specifically in the fourth quarter for his defense. And he played the entire fourth quarter, and the Lakers had maybe one of their best defensive quarters of the year, holding the Knicks to, I think, 19 points?
Yeah. And if you guys caught the little meme, not meme, but they were just captioning his post-game interview there after the Knicks game, and they were like, this is not no second or third year guy. This is like a 10-year vet talking, and he's so poised and he's so under control, and you can just tell like he could potentially, work out to be one of those really cerebral guys, and that could be one of those gems that the Lakers really are looking to in the future and may not be willing to part with. So probably don't expect to see him going anywhere anytime soon.
Right.
He's in the mix of these talks too. So
yeah. Well, I mean, everybody's in the mix. So the Lakers are rumored to trade for 75 guys. I don't know how Rob's going to pull off, but we're going to trade for like all these guys. We're going to have the biggest roster in the history of the world come Thursday. So, all right. Speaking of that, right? Let's transition into our second segment here. We want to talk, of course, like Kobe mentioned, we are just days away from the trade deadline. Always a busy time for every team, especially the Lakers, because we're the Lakers, right? And always an exciting time for me. But as much as this year does have similarities, there are some obvious differences, right? Last year, there were apparent needs and moves that were going to be made. You knew that Russ and Pat Beverly were not going to stick on this team. It was well documented. It was well versed. You knew that was something was going to give, and they were going to get moved. This year it's a little different, right? Because D'Lo was a guy that was like, pack your bags. He already had 2 feet out the door, and then all of a sudden he has a career month, and the Lakers, play better, and it's well documented. Their record, they're what? I think I saw it today. They're 6 or 7 games above 500 in the games that he starts. So clearly that obviously changes your mind, right? It's like if you're going to sell your car and because it doesn't run good and all of a sudden starts running like a champ, you'd be like, maybe I don't need to go buy a new car right now because this seems to be working fine. So it's definitely a little different
I
feel
never
than
had
last year.
that happen before, but
Well, okay, you get what I'm saying. My point is, it's a
my
little
cars have
different.
always gone
vibe.
downhill.
Well, that's just you and how you run your cars, right? But my point is it's a definite different feel than last year, right? Last year you knew guys had to go. This year it's kind of like, well, the Lakers have some holes, have some needs, have some opportunities to improve, but there isn't necessarily a need to. We have to get rid of this guy because he's a problem. We have to get rid of this guy because we do not play well with him on the roster. So I just kind of wanted to throw the idea out there of get your guys' opinions, thoughts on either what you want the Lakers to do or what you think the Lakers will do between now and the deadline. Billy?
I don't see anything out there that's going to significantly change what we're doing right now. I don't see one player that's going to make a big splash. You said, there's rumors that we could work a deal with the Nets and the Hawks and maybe get Murray, which I like Murray, but I don't think he makes that much of an impact to where suddenly we're a top 5 contender in the West, and he's going to make all this big impact, and trying to trade for some of the guys that are out there right now doesn't make us much better than what we are. Statistically, they are not much better than what we have on our roster, and just to throw a bunch of guys in midseason again and hope we get back to where we were last time, it doesn't make any sense to me. And the earliest pick we can trade for a first round pick is a 2029, and I don't think a lot of people want to wait till 2029 to use a first round pick. So for me, I'd like to see this work out. If we can make a little bit of a move, like something smaller, but not trade our core guys, then I'd be cool with it. But it'd have to be something that was significantly help in a certain area. I don't want to drop scoring for defense. I don't want to drop defense for scoring. And I think we started with this roster, and they're starting to play better. And I think we should just work everything else out. Hopefully guys get healthy and see where we go.
Yeah. And that's obviously one of the opinions that's out there too, right? Is there any move that is going to be a significant enough impact for the Lakers to, give up a first round pick or give up, pick swaps or second round picks or, or trade away a guy like a Rui, because obviously you got to have, you got to match dollars for dollars, or so you got to, whatever you're bringing in, you got to,
no. The Lakers put up Rui's snakeskin Mamba jersey on the IG today, and they're playing on Thursday in these jerseys.
Okay, all right, fine. I saw clips with Caruso in the Mamba jersey. Does that mean he's coming?
Maybe, no.
But that's definitely one side of the coin, Billy. I don't know, Kobe. What's your opinion? Do you have a different take on it?
That's it. You're done. That's all.
Well, no, I'm
it. Trade machine.
You want me to get? You want me to give mine? I'm sorry. Let me give mine. Fine. Let me give mine.
No. I'll let you go. I could say a little something here. I got to ruffle this guy up a little bit. Got to mess him around. Okay.
This guy's got a rebuttal ready.
Yeah. So I mean, I will just say this before we kind of get into this conversation, and we've talked about this, over the course of several episodes, that Billy and I, and kind of Billy just made the point, we don't always necessarily feel that a trade is gonna solve our problems, because you can go back to just a week or two ago when we played the Hawks, right? Everyone was raving about DeJounte Murray, and that was the showdown game, and D'Lo, he kind of came out flat, right? Didn't do his thing. Kind of heard a rumor that was intentional, but that's neither here nor there. But we're raving about DeJounte shooting, right? And you guys probably saw the Trevor Lane tweet where he's only like 1 for 18. I did updated stats. He's actually 4 of 25 from 3 in the last 4 games.
Well, he's perfect.
And he went 0 for 4 in that showdown game with D'Lo. So I could see that, Anthony, being a problem for you. Yes, we'll go out, we'll get him because that's what you want. That's what everybody wants. But then we bring him here and he has those little slumps, and how are you going to deal with that? So I'll just say that, before we go into this and what we're going to talk about, don't assume that the trades are just going to, magically turn everything around. I don't think a lot of us do, but sometimes Laker fans do kind of get that way. So
no, and you're right.
You're not fixing things unless I feel like trades will work if the culture is right, if the culture is correct. But you can trade all the guys in the world. If hypothetically, let's just say DeJounte Murray does come here and he's the only one really giving any kind of crazy effort or crazy defense, he might, if the culture is not right, hypothetically, if we go on a bad stretch, 5, 6, 7 games and guys check out on defense, what do you think he's going to do? You think he's going to be like, oh, yeah, let me be the only one playing defense out here? No.
And that's a fair point. And
he's not going to be a number 2 on this team. He's going to be like a number 3 because LeBron and AD are going to be, having the ball more. So he's going to be a different player as well. So
that's true. That's true. But you're right. One trade, multiple trades doesn't fix everything, right? Because hypothetically, right, we could trade for DeJounte Murray, and Darvin Ham could still play Taurean Prince more minutes than DeJounte Murray. So it's like there's always, you're right, there's going to be factors involved where we could get the guys in a team and, Darvin Ham could still find a way to, use them in a way that maybe we don't see fit or, like you said, injuries, or there's all kinds of factors. But for me, I would be very surprised if the Lakers don't do something. Now, I agree with you, Billy, in a sense that there's really no major impact players that the Lakers are going to be able to move Russell or Reeves for that are better than what they've got. I don't think Reeves is going to get moved at all. I think the only way Russell gets moved now, a month ago, it might have been different, right? Maybe they would have.
And I said that on a pod about a month ago. I said, you wait until someone starts playing good. They're going to be off the chopping block.
Yeah. Now, hold on a second. I'm saying I don't think he gets traded just to get traded. I do think that he would get traded for DeJounte Murray or someone like that, or better than that. But I would be very surprised if he's moved in like a dim-witty, Royce O'Neal, Finney Smith kind of trade. That would really shock me because Dinwiddie's not an upgrade over D'Lo. So I could see D'Lo going for DeJounte Murray, but that's probably it. So I think if you're the Lakers, you're probably looking at it like, if you can get the package you want, if you can move, Fino and D'Lo and Gabe Vincent and bring back a DeJounte Murray and Finney Smith or Royce O'Neal and a better backup point guard, just one that at least is going to be able to play, because Vincent is a wild card right now, like a Tyus Jones, or you've heard probably a lot of like Chris Dunn's name, floating. I know, right?
I haven't heard from him in a minute.
He would be such a Rob Pelinka move because seriously, because he's on a 1-year, like $2.5 million deal, and that's that's always our MO, right? Never bring back anybody with salary. Always bring back guys on expiring deals. So that would be like such a Rob move, right? Why do you think Tyus Jones is on the list? He's on a 1-year, like $10 million deal. DeJounte Murray is the only one that's actually on a long-term, contract, but it's, manageable. And he's obviously, a significant player. He's not just a typical role player kind of guy. But, for me, I still would love to see that package. I still would love to get DeJounte Murray, a Finney Smith type 3-and-D wing, and a point guard like a Tyus Jones. If we could pull that off, and you're only giving up, say, Vincent and D'Lo and Fino, and maybe you have to throw in, like a Taurean Prince or something like that. I doubt Taurean Prince will get traded because he's the prodigal son. But you know what I'm saying? Something like that, I would totally be in favor of. But you're right. Other than that, I don't see the Lakers making a quote unquote big splash. I could see them definitely trying to turn Vincent into a point guard that is playing, whether it's Jones, whether it's, Chris Dunn, something like that, and some type of a wing. If Finney Smith costs too much, maybe they get Royce O'Neal. Maybe they, try to get, something else from Toronto, or, there's other, opportunities, but I could see a small move, right? Royce O'Neal and Chris Dunn, and you just get rid of, Gabe Vincent and Cam Reddish or something like that, right? If they don't go the DeJounte Murray route.
See, the whole thing is too is
I'd be stunned if they don't do something.
If you're trying to win now, or if you're just gonna say I'm going to start planning for the future. So if you're going to start planning for the future, I understand doing the Murray move and trading guys, and this is basically
that's why I like move, and that's why I like Murray. He helps you now and in the future.
Yeah, I mean, he'd be good for the future. Whether for the now, I don't know if it would make a big impact now, but going forward, maybe so, because now you got AD and Murray, and then you can kind of build around them. So I can see that, and Reeves, correct, but that's the only thing I can see. And then if you're gonna go that route, what does LeBron think of it? He's like, okay, well, now I'm just here playing out the season, and now you got disgruntled LeBron. So I don't know. I mean, there's a couple ways to look at it, and like we don't know what's going on behind closed doors or how people feel or whatnot. Of course. So we're just here speculating and giving our opinions, but
But you're right. That's why I like DeJounte Murray, because he checks all the boxes, in theory, right? He gives you a good player now, but he also gives you a better player long term if LeBron decides that he wants to leave or retire or do whatever he wants to do at the end of the year. Or if he wants to come back, and you got Murray, you got Reeves, you got LeBron, you got AD.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I don't think the Lakers, I think that's the only scenario that they trade like a D'Lo, is to get DeJounte Murray. Like I said, I'd be stunned if they trade D'Lo and bring back like Dennis Schroeder or Spencer Dinwiddie or Buddy Hield or something like that. I'd be really surprised if that's the direction they go. But
that wouldn't make any sense to me.
But we'll see. Like, I'd love a Bruce Brown, but his contract's a little more expensive, and the cost of business to get him is gonna be harder. Just like Alex Caruso, the price tag for those guys, I think, is gonna be too difficult for the Lakers to find a way to bring in a player like that. I don't know. Kobe, your thoughts?
Thanks, guys. Yeah, I'm glad I got my turn to go now. Remember, I was telling you guys I'm installing some sounds and some sound effects on my mixer. I'm not quite finished yet, but because we're going to use that next time on the audio version and stuff. But it's got like little wrap-up music on there, and I just can't wait to just hit Anthony with that wrap-up music. Like, come on, man, wrap it up, B.
Like my Oscar speech, right?
Your Oscar. Yeah,
get off the stage music.
That needed death, man.
Put a little time clock right here so we can.
Well, obviously, as we all know, it's been well documented that if this was a few weeks ago, like it was a few weeks ago on the pod, I said I really don't want us to do anything. I don't want us to figure it out. We weren't playing that great, but we won the in-season tournament, got to the Western Conference Finals last season. We proved that we could, win at a high level with this team. So. Obviously, things have kind of changed in the last couple of weeks, especially with Vando's injury, and we're going to want to maybe have a little bit of an insurance policy with that. Obviously, certain guys are playing well right now. We mentioned it already. D'Lo, Rui's playing well. Austin Reeves kind of off and on, which, by the way, does my stat qualify with Austin Reeves, that consistent or on average from, that Boston game when he was like, 7 threes, but he couldn't hit the side of a barn before that?
I think you would fail your test.
Well, I mean, it's just like, 7 threes. How much did that skew his 3-point percentage over the course of a week,
Well, last night he had 9. Right. So he had 32. Then I think he had 22 on Saturday, and then he had 9 last night. So
right. So we gotta live with both. Sometimes he's gonna do great, sometimes they might not do so great. So, anyways, that was just kind of a on the side note. But for in the sake of Trade Machine Tuesday, I'll play the little game. So I went into the Trade Machine, Anthony. I know you love it. I went into the Trade Machine.
What'd you cook up?
I got something ready for you. Did you not come with a Trade Machine idea?
Well, I just told you I didn't want to just regurgitate the same stuff that I've been pushing for the last 3 months. But that's why I said if it was me, I still like the DeJounte Murray, Finney Smith, Tyus Jones deal that includes D'Lo and Vincent and Fino, and I still like that. That's my ideal package. But
okay, fair enough. But before I give you guys my idea, Anthony, are you sure you wouldn't want to see the NBA's crypto king Spencer Dinwiddie playing in crypto.com arena?
Nope. Nope.
Oh man.
Nope.com.
We could have done something with that.
Nope.com.
Oh man. Okay. So this is what I came up with. Went into the Trade Machine, right? It's Trade Machine Tuesday. Trade deadline is coming. So I thought I would have a little fun and, use some NBA basketball trading cards here for my little presentation.
Oh, nice.
So you gonna zoom in on those, buddy, or what?
Yeah. So first player on the list here. I'm doing a deal with Atlanta. Okay. I have us getting Bogdan Bogdanovic. There you go. He's
I like
30.
it. I like it.
You like Bogdan? Oh, yeah. 37%, 38% career 3-point shooter.
Yeah, been playing well.
You would like that.
He lit us up. I like it.
Second player on the list, we got your boy Clint Capella. You like Clint? Clint Capella helps us out with the rebounding. It's been a little bit of a struggle for us this year. A
little bit.
Gives you about
11. I like DeAndre Hunter better, but okay.
Little 11 and block and a half a game, to help you out a little bit.
Okay.
Now this next player, because he hasn't really been playing too long, for the Hawks, just 2 seasons, but he's on everybody's trade demand list. Your boy DeJounte, but I had to get him on the Spurs because I don't have an Atlanta.
Okay, that's okay. Okay, I mean all right. I mean, look, to be honest with you, you had me at Trade Machine. To be honest with you, you had me at Trade Machine.
I know.
But now you really got me excited.
Yeah, so we got Bogdan, Clint Capella, and DeJounte Murray. Okay.
Oh, I like it. I like it.
So those are the 3 guys for us. Now, what the Hawks will be receiving for this first guy really struggled to find any of his cards in my collection. I was actually pretty stunned. I was surprised. Like I had to dig, and I ended up having to go all the way back, literally all the way back to his rookie season, which ironically was for the Atlanta Hawks. He was drafted by the Hawks. You know who I'm talking about?
Taurean Prince.
So the Hawks.
I love it. Oh man, this deal gets better and better.
So
I love it.
Are getting back Taurean Prince.
I love it.
I know a lot of Laker haters. They're always saying like, they always want to take all the other teams' best players, but they never want to give us anybody in return and blah, 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 blah. Hey, I feel you guys, So that's why we're going to give you guys LeBron James.
Oh, okay. Now we've taken a sharp left. I was wondering where the money was going to come from. Of course it does, because LeBron makes $45 million. I was wondering, how are we going to get all these guys with Taurean Prince's $7.5 million contract?
Oh, it works. And
LeBron James to the Hawks, huh?
LeBron James to the Hawks.
So there's no third team involved with this?
And so what I got here for you guys is a little towel that I created, and I'm just gonna, wear this towel for a second here, I'm just gonna throw it around me, and I'm gonna finish the pod off with my little.
You want to feel my trade feels good, or
mean, I'm not throwing any subliminal messages with my little towel here for Atlanta Hawks, LeBron James, big moves or anything like that, but
yeah,
but
your Knicks towels on the floor.
But hear me out here. Hear me out here. You guys both mentioned it. What does DeJounte Murray really do for us right now in the near future? Does he really help us? He's a guy that, really needs the ball in his hands. We've talked about that. LeBron being here, that might not be a good recipe for him, and LeBron to the Hawks, there's a chance that the Hawks could go get Bronny. Imagine that buzz. Bronny, LeBron, Trae Young. Tell me that's not going to bring some buzz to Atlanta. And then on our end, we got all our young pieces. We got DeJounte Murray. We got Rui. We got Austin Reeves still. We didn't have to give up any of our young core. And we can build for the future. And who even knows what happens this year? Now you got D'Lo, who could potentially walk at the end of the year, but this could, reignite him. You still got AD, a championship level player. You got AD, you got young, up and coming potential stars on your team for the future. I'm just saying. Don't hate me, man. Hate the trade machine. The trade machine made me do it.
Man, I'm not hating.
So you're. So
it's far-fetched, but I'm not hating on it.
When you do something like that, that tells me a couple things. One, you don't like LeBron, which is not a secret in this pod. But two, it tells me that you obviously don't think this team, as currently constructed, can win a championship this year. So you're taking the long-term approach versus the short-term approach, and you're saying, let's go get a few pieces that we think. It's like when they traded Shaq, right? And you got Lamar and Brian Grant, and you're saying, like, let's just go get some guys that we think are going to make us better over the next few years versus over the next few months.
Well, I mean, yes and no, but I mean, at the end of the day, you ship LeBron out. It's not like we're giving away, AD. AD's still a championship level player, and a lot of the look at Denver. What do they have? Jokic and Murray, right? For the most part, that's their big two. Mm-hmm.
So who's our big two? AD
and any of those guys could. You got your boy, your buddy, your savior, DeJounte Murray could be the number two. D'Lo could go on the craziest run of his life. He could be a number two. You're interchangeable. Torian's gone now, so Rui could be our number two. You never know.
I mean, those are the only two parts those are the parts I love the most. Murray in, Prince out. But what's your lineup look like? Are you going to start three guards? Are you going to start Murray, Reeves, and D'Lo?
No, I mean,
or are you going to start? Who comes off the bench out of those three?
Austin Reeves, but because honestly, and Austin Reeves could go in a different deal. Apart if we didn't do this one. I mean, I'm not really 100% sold on Austin Reeves. He's, not doing anything on a career level this season. He's not playing the greatest defense, and his, 3-point shooting has slumped. So, I mean, for me, he's still a good sixth man type of player. I would start D'Lo.
You would keep D'Lo over Reeves right now?
Yes, I would keep D'Lo over Reeves.
Because if that's the case, Atlanta would take Reeves for Murray yesterday, like that.
Yeah, but I just don't like I can't go another season of us getting a guy that doesn't work with LeBron and then having all the guys like you say, oh, well, we just didn't use him right. Oh, the fit was just bad. I just can't do that. So if we're going to get Murray, LeBron's got to go, and then get rid of Prince too. Okay. And then that'll open up Rui and some of these other guys. So
why didn't you just trade LeBron for Trae Young? Why couldn't we just do that?
Because then we got like 17 guards. We don't need all that, man. We don't need all that.
What do you mean? What's the difference?
He'll start all five of them.
What's the difference?
He'll start off all of them, man.
No, you let him keep DeJounte Murray, and we get Trae Young instead. What's wrong with that?
But these are all ball hands. These are all guys that need the ball in their hands. But that was just it was a little fun one. I told you I played the game, but I got a little quick, realistic one for you, Anthony, on the side here. One that's kind of developed recently here. We just talked about it. Austin Reeves. So I'm sending Austin Reeves, Gabe Vincent, and Rui Hachimura to Golden State for Klay Thompson. Gives us shooting,
Okay.
gives us
That's interesting.
defense, gives Klay a fresh start over here in LA, and maybe that's just something he needs right now. He's in a little funk over there,
Well,
and
who
maybe
else do we get?
that's all he needs.
Okay.
So,
Well, who else do we
well,
get?
Okay.
that's
I
all
mean,
we
that's-
would get because of his salary. He's making like 47
Yeah,
million.
he makes a lot of, but he's also a free agent at the end of the year. So,
Right.
you know, yeah, it's interesting, right? Either you could be buying low on Klay Thompson, or you could be getting a guy who's maybe, you know, sort of on the other end of his career, depending on, you know, how you want to look at it, right? Glass half full, glass half empty. I don't hate it because, I mean, I love Klay. You know, I've always been a huge fan of Klay Thompson, but it definitely, I mean, what always tends to work with LeBron is shooters, right? We know that. And that's what you're talking about, right? The ball handlers, it's hard to have a primary ball handler where that is his number one skill. His best asset is the ball in his hand, because LeBron is obviously great with the ball in his hand too. So all the teams that LeBron's taken to the finals have all had, you know, shooters. They've all had guys that LeBron can drive and kick to that are spot up shooters that can make open shots. That's been the recipe for success everywhere he's been. So you have to have, you know, if you're going to bring in somebody like a Murray or whatever, he has to be able to fit that mold. If not exclusively, at least he has to be able to do it, right? You know, and you know, that's one thing that D'Lo has done, you know, a little bit better over this recent stretch is, yes, he's still at times been able to play make, but he's also able to hit the open shot. He's also able to hit the spot up three. Now, in LeBron's defense, though, one thing that I have noticed recently, and it's not, I don't think it's coincidence that it's also gone with, you know, the good games that Reeves has had and the stress that D'Lo's had, is LeBron is deferring a lot more to them as far as bringing the ball up and initiating the offense. You know, at times, of course, I mean, the ball will still run through LeBron, maybe on the post or the, you know, or top of the key, right? High screen and roll. But he's not bringing the ball up. He's not initiating the offense as much as he has in years past. He is deferring a lot to D'Lo and especially to Reeves. He really defers a lot to Reeves as far as orchestrating the offense. So that's something that, you know, has been, you know, a slight difference, which will, you know, lend to the fact that if you're going to bring in somebody that is quote unquote a ball handler, they're going to get more of an opportunity to do that, as LeBron will be more of a get it in the post, top of the key attack, as opposed to facilitating the offense the whole game. So, but it makes sense. But it makes sense. So, just real quick before we end this segment and do our headlines or end lines. So, Lakers make a trade, yes or no? Just yes or no? Did they make any kind of a trade between now and the deadline?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I think they do, and it's minor.
I think if it's not DeJounte Murray, yes, I agree with you. It'll be a small trade. Probably, I would be really surprised if Gabe Vincent is still on this team come Thursday. I think that they're definitely trying to look to turn his contract into a guy that can help them, you know, right now. So I would definitely think that if nothing else, you flip, you know, Gabe Vincent for a healthy body, so to speak, right? But I do agree that they will do something. I'd be very surprised if they do nothing.
And then 1 week after we get that healthy body, down they go.
Right? Don't jinx them, right? They're going to step on somebody's foot and be out for a month.
Just don't trade with Miami.
Stop it. So, well, we'll see, right? That's the beauty, is a couple days from now, we'll know exactly what did or did not happen for the Lakers and for, you know, every other team in the league. So, fun times. All right, before we get out of here, of course, we want to do our weekly headlines that we so conveniently moved to the end of the show at Billy's request. So, without further ado, this week's end lines. The Commanders, they hired Dallas defensive coordinator Dan Quinn to be their new head coach. And I think that successfully wraps up all the open head coaching jobs. The Grizzlies, they made a trade. They traded Steven Adams to the Rockets for Victor Oladipo and 3 second-round picks. Also, as we've heard, of course, Sixers all-star center Joel Embiid, he hurt his meniscus in his knee, so he's going to be out at least 4 weeks. So tough blow for him and the Sixers. In some MLB news, the Baltimore Orioles acquired former Cy Young winner Corbin Burns from the Milwaukee Brewers. So high-level all-star caliber starting pitcher to their staff. In some wrestling news, The Rock, you know him, he returned Friday on SmackDown and had an intense stare down with current undisputed champion Roman Reigns. The belief is that they will face off against each other this April in WrestleMania 40. So that's kind of
WrestleMania
exciting, I guess.
He's getting a lot of heat for that too, man. I've never heard Rock chants saying on this past Monday's Raw that they were saying Rocky sucks because they wanted Cody to go against Roman. So we'll see if that actually even plays out.
And finally, this week, of course, on 2/8/24, which also happens to be the trade deadline, the Lakers will unveil the long-awaited Kobe Bryant statue outside of Crypto just before they face the Denver Nuggets. So that is going to be a very exciting event for everybody in the city of Los Angeles, Laker fans, NBA fans, Kobe Bryant fans. So super excited for that. And flash it. They will wear the Mamba. They will wear the Mamba jerseys that night. So that's pretty exciting. And those are our headlines, gentlemen. But before we wrap up, of course, this weekend is the Super Bowl. Chiefs, Niners from Vegas. Who do you got winning the Super Bowl, Billy? Can't pick the Lions. Sorry.
Yeah, unfortunately. I'm going for the Niners, but I think Kansas City's going to win.
And you already know who I got. I got the Chiefs over the Niners, 34-10. Taylor Swift is the MVP, and everybody's happy.
God.
I like it.
Do you have Taylor Swift cards too?
Taylor Swift cards.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Taylor Swift. I don't know what the big hype is over her.
Yeah.
But I'm probably alone in that camp.
The prop bets, are you taking the over on Taylor Swift shots for the Super Bowl? Because she should be there in plenty of time, right? Because her show is in Japan or Hong Kong or something, right? But because she's a day ahead, she'll be able to arrive in Vegas actually like Saturday night.
Yeah.
So that she'll be in the house. And I'm sure the NFL obviously loves that. But yes, I'm with Kobe. I like the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs are going to find a way to do it. Mahomes, Kelsey, Andy Reid, Taylor Swift, all the key players will
Billy's one of those.
will do their job, and I think Chiefs get back-to-back Super Bowls. Hasn't happened in a while, but I think this could be the year. So,
yeah. Hey, and real quick, Anthony, Rock and Roman Reigns going down WrestleMania 40 in April, and it's at your Philadelphia Eagles Stadium. So I think you should take us. You should take me and Billy for the 2-day event on your dime.
I don't know if you guys can. That's a raucous crowd. I don't know if
we'll be fine.
Philly fans are crazy, man. All Philly sports fans are crazy. I don't know.
It's WrestleMania, man. It's not the football game.
Yeah, but if it's in Philadelphia, don't count anything out. Come on, you remember Billy, the old vet where the Eagles used to play had a jail cell underneath. Come on, you remember that?
Oh man! All right.
Hey,
all right.
Before we wrap up, if my monster deal for the Lakers and Hawks goes down, my towel is going to be on eBay on Friday. So just so you guys know, the Matter Stats ultimate trade. I don't want to be here and be the one that said, dang, I should have talked about my ultimate, Hawks deal that could have went down, because then you guys would have been like, oh yeah, yeah, whatever. You should have said it.
If your trade goes down, I'll buy you a Clint Capella jersey.
Did you at least wash the towel first?
This is a brand new towel, man, just in the pot, just for you guys.
Oh man.
Yeah.
You ruined a brand new towel just for that. Huh?
I'll bill you later.
Did you have to rehearse?
Oh, great.
Over your shoulder.
$85 for a towel.
It's all impromptu, man. Did my best. So,
man.
Anyways, get us out of here, man.
Fellas.
All right. Well, that will wrap up this week's edition of the Matter Stats podcast. Of course, we thank you for listening. We thank you for watching us. Please make sure you find us anywhere you get your podcast. Check us out on YouTube. Check us out on IG. Check us out on X. And we'll see you next week after the Super Bowl, after the Lakers monster trade deal, and Kobe trades everybody for Clint Capella and a basket of fries.
Jeez.